What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. A daily $10 XRP giveaway. Winner always announced in the video description. Just like the video, subscribe with notifications on, and comment anything in the YouTube comments below. I want to lead with this video here talking about the lawsuit, XRP investors, and specifically touching on Ethereum, and make some very good points.
Let's say you did your research and invested in an asset you knew a lot about, owned by millions of people and billions of units trading on markets around the world. And you played by the rules as you knew them. But then one day, your investment was wiped out. This really happened to millions of ordinary people who invested in or built their business with the cryptocurrency XRP. But it wasn't because of a scam, or fraud, or market volatility. It was because of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC claimed in a lawsuit that the XRP token is an unregistered investment in a company called Ripple that uses the token. Most XRP holders had never even heard of Ripple, so they looked into it. XRP holders discovered that SEC officials Jay Clayton and William Hinman both have financial ties to XRP's major competitor, Ethereum. In fact, in 2018, while he was still working for the government, Hinman gave a speech that was largely written by lobbyists declaring that Ethereum's cryptocurrency, Ether, is not a security. Ether's price skyrocketed, more than 600% since then. And Hinman? Well, he sat in his government office and collected $15 million from a law firm that promotes Ethereum. The same factors Hinman used to argue a free pass for Ether could better be applied to XRP. And yet when XRP users asked the SEC for regulatory clarity, they never got a straight answer. Instead, on his last day at the SEC, Jay Clayton filed suit against Ripple, causing the value of XRP to plummet, and with it, many investors' hopes. While XRP holders are waiting for a long court case to play out, Hinman is a senior partner with the billionaire Ethereum investors who helped write his speech. And Clayton is working for a hedge fund that made a $1 billion bet on Bitcoin and Ether. The SEC shouldn't get to pick winners and losers, which is why tens of thousands of XRP holders have entered the lawsuit as friends of the court against the SEC. The outcome of this court case will influence the future of regulation for all cryptocurrencies in the United States. If the SEC wins, what happened to XRP could happen to every crypto coin. But even more troubling would be letting political appointees from any party have more control over your investments than you do yourself. Government regulators have to level the playing field, not unfairly tip the scale for their friends. For more information and to join the fight.
So I think that video was a good summary of the lawsuit. Had nice graphics, pretty fun to watch in my opinion, and just kind of gets everyone up to speed. Ethereum got a lot of passes, and there's a lot of similarities to Ethereum's ICO in 2017 and Ripple, and we must ask ourselves and apply pressure on this lawsuit, why did Ethereum get special treatment? We know the Hinman emails, which Ripple had to get 7 subpoenas to receive from the SEC. What is so valuable and bad for the SEC's side of the lawsuit that 6 times they were subpoenaed and wouldn't give up these documents? Think about it. If there was nothing in the documents and they were worthless emails, the SEC wouldn't need to be asked 7 times to give these emails up. So whatever William Hinman said in these emails, specifically regarding Ethereum, is going to blow this lawsuit down like a house of cards. And the Davos convention's been going on. Ripple's CEO at the World Economic Forum finds amazingly receptive audience in Davos. I don't see the CEO of Bitcoin there. I don't see the CEO of Ethereum. I don't see the CEO of AVAX, of Binance, of Coinbase here. What does that tell you? Let's take a listen.
Audience. That's why I'm here. That's why I come to Davos. That's why I'm meeting with regulators, because I want to partner and say, here's how Ripple approaches this, here's how we see the industry. And I will say, I've found an amazingly receptive audience here in Davos.
And what other blockchain companies are doing this currently and have been doing this for a decade. Ripple really is in a league of its own. And Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, who we just saw speak, says chance of settling with the SEC in the XRP lawsuit is 0. Okay? Also, if you guys use Twitter, give me a follow on Twitter. Links in the video description below. And join my free Telegram chat group. In the future, it'll cost money, but it's a free chat right now. We just talk about crypto 24/7. So if you like talking about crypto, join the Telegram in the video description below. Garlinghouse said this in a CNBC interview that a settlement only is going to happen if the SEC clarifies XRP is not a security. So Ripple doesn't just want any settlement. They have specific requests. They want XRP clarified not as a security. And he says, quote, "The problem here is the SEC under Chair Gensler has articulated a view that all crypto is a security. The only way that Ripple would settle, and I've said this at the very beginning, the only way we would settle is if there's clarity that XRP is not a security on a go-forward basis." I think the chance of a settlement is 0. So I think we're going to go and end up letting the judge decide, which is a more risky decision that could really backfire against Ripple. But if they're willing to go that far and they have that much conviction in their beliefs, what does that tell you guys? The Ripple CEO says that a ruling on the SEC's lawsuit against the payments company could be delivered potentially this year. We definitely expect a decision, certainly in 2023, but you don't have any control. Don't really care when that ruling happens because I know it's going to be a positive ruling for Ripple. XRP holders rejoice on the latest scheduling update. Here's why. Okay, according to the most recent updates by James K. Phelan or Highland in the ongoing lawsuit, all motions are now fully briefed, guys. So basically what this means is we're just waiting on the judge's decision. Now, I'm no legal expert, so I don't know how long that takes, but there's no more motions. Over the past few months, different people have been covering this. There's all these motions coming out. That's come to an end. Now we wait, okay? Let me know what you guys think about the lawsuit outcome. Give me a 1 to 100% chance. On a scale from 1 to 100%, what are the odds that Ripple wins? Comment below. I want to see some of y'all's predictions. And now for a great clip talking about Ripple and XRP with a panel of very powerful elites, Brad Garlinghouse at the Davos Economic Forum.
Brad, you have already made the distinction between XRP, the token, and Ripple, the company. You are the only... You're a regulated entity, or you're speaking on behalf of a regulated entity. When folks talk about, these different sorts of provisions, you are the person or your various teams doing the paperwork, providing evidence of baseline trustworthiness. What is it like to be a non-bank financial services provider operating at the intersection of these very traditionally regulated financial institutions and less traditionally regulated, less traditional financial institutions?
It's exciting. I feel a obligation to advocate for. There are these new technologies that we can use for the betterment of economic value to our citizens, to our businesses, even to central banks. And I think to the extent we can focus on, hey, these are new technologies that can be used in that way. Like the earliest days of the internet, can these technologies be used in illicit ways? Yes, and certainly we saw the early days of the internet and people called for bans of the internet.
And to be clear, the current days of the internet as well.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, although there was a much louder, higher decibel level call in maybe the 90s when people were, I think, more intimidated by how these technologies are being used. And I think we're seeing that play out in the world of blockchain as well. I thought it was interesting you described the UAE regulatory as light touch.
Said it was described as light touch.
Oh, described as light touch, all right. I actually give huge credit to the UAE.
Do you have a VARA license?
No, we do not. Although we might, I don't know the exact answer to that, but we do not currently. The point I would make, though, is...
You do not.
Thank you. The point I would make, though, is the UAE has done the work to codify what the regulations are. I think the challenge, and we discussed this before we got up here, I think the vast majority of players in the crypto space want to be good actors. But I think we have to be clear about what that means. And I think one of the challenges is, and I very much agreed with something the commissioner said, we talk about regulating crypto. I think we should, that's an abstract thing to say from my point of view. We need to regulate the activity. What is it that we're doing? So Ripple is in the business around cross-border payments. Our customers are banks. Our customers are regulated institutions. You can't have a non-KYC, know your customer transaction, et cetera. there are lots of regulations around payments, like Know Your Customer, like AML, anti-money laundering, like OFAC compliance in the United States, et cetera, anti-terrorism finance. So I think when we say crypto's not regulated, I hear that and I think, I don't know what that means. Like Ripple's a very regulated company in lots of different jurisdictions, not yet in UAE perhaps, although I don't know the exact status in UAE. The point, as much as anything, I think it's a misnomer to describe crypto as an unregulated business. In the US, you have in the SEC, someone at the chair saying it's the Wild West. Look, there are clearly examples where that's true, but there are a lot of people solving real problems for real customers and taking the air and the froth out of the hype and speculative bubble that really was true in crypto, I think is really healthy.
I think one of the